week before the draft, and no one is safe from criticism. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel quoted an unnamed scout who questioned Robert Griffin III's vision and pocket feel. Another unnamed scout from an unnamed team said the Heisman Trophy winner has a selfish streak. And here's RG3's response to that to CBSSports.com. He said this: "It's just when the draft gets closer, everybody's going to try and find something wrong with you to try and pull you down. So I'm not going to sit here and argue that, well, that guy is dead wrong. But I think the people that know me, and even people in the media, know I'm not a selfish guy." With much more, we say good morning to our Adam Schefter. And Adam, leaked opinions from scouts before the draft is nothing new, but we haven't heard much negative publicity about the Heisman winner, RG3. What more can you tell us about this story?
It's not the first time you hear people around the league saying such things. There has been some talk amongst the Baylor players talking to NFL teams that there is a bit of a selfish streak in RG3. I don't think this is something that comes as a surprise to people around the league. Saying that, last year, people took apart Cam Newton before the draft in a way that very few prospects ever have been taken apart. It's a part of the process. It goes on every year. Scouts and NFL people are paid to find every hole in a person's game and in his personality, and there has been some of that chatter about RG3. It's up to him to get into the NFL, to get to that level, and to prove those people wrong, and to prove that that selfish streak that some people are in fact talking about really is secondary to his game, and that he's going to get it done at the next level ultimately.
Really interesting that you say Baylor players as well. All right, Adam, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and Steelers President Art Rooney are expected to be in Minnesota today to urge state leaders to pass a bill to build a new stadium for the Vikings. What are you hearing about the Vikings' future in Minnesota?
There's a real question as to whether the Vikings can get this deal done for a new stadium. And of course, lawmakers were against this earlier in the week. It was a blow to the Vikings' hopes to get a new stadium. The legislature now has 11 days left before the period of exclusivity expires, and the Vikings then would be free to talk to other markets about situations, about what they can and cannot do in Minnesota. And so today, you have Roger Goodell and Art Rooney, the chairman of the NFL Stadium Committee, in Minnesota to meet with state lawmakers to see if there's a last-minute push that the two sides can engage in to try to get something done for a new stadium in Minnesota. Because if that new stadium does not get done, it's going to open the door for the Vikings to look at other markets, and everybody's waiting to see what happens in Los Angeles because the NFL wants to get back to Los Angeles at some point in time.
All right, Adam, in what has turned out to be a daily update, what's the latest on the possible punishments for the players involved in the Saints bounty program?
Kevin, keep in mind, this was the week that the NFL was hoping to announce punishments and discipline for the Saints players involved, players like Jonathan Vilma and Will Smith. And so this is really the last day of this week that it could be announced before next week begins and you're into the full draft preparations in full draft mode. And so the NFL would like to get something done, but clearly the meeting this week with the NFLPA officials at NFL headquarters slowed down that process a little bit and put a little bit of a wrinkle into the NFL's plans. Now we'll wait to see whether that announcement could come at some point later today. Certainly possible.